Hello. In this video, I want to use solubility curves to find out how much solute is dissolved if the volume of your solvent is changed. So let's take a look at the example on the side. At 100 degrees Celsius, how much solute can be dissolved in 75 milliliters of water? Now, if you're thinking that all you have to do is to look at 100 degrees Celsius and then see where it hits the curve, then you're incorrect. The only reason why you're incorrect is because on our graph here, the unit for solubility is not 75 milliliters of water, it's 100 milliliters of water. Okay? So since the volume of your solvent is different from the volume of solvent on the graph, we have to make a few adjustments in order to figure out how much solute can dissolve. So what I recommend that you do is to always look at your temperature and figure out how much is dissolved at that temperature. So how much is normally dissolved at 100 degrees Celsius. So in our case, we look at 100 degrees Celsius, we see where it hits the curve. It hits the curve at exactly 250 grams. So the solubility is actually 250 grams per 100 milliliters of water. Now, this can be written in a different way. Okay? You can write this as 250 grams over 100 milliliters. Okay? It's the same thing. Now, I show you this because we're going to set up a proportionality in the next step. So, step 2. Set up your proportion and solve for x. Okay, so what I mean here is I want to take 250 grams over 100 milliliters of water, which is what the solubility is at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, but I don't have 100 mils. I have 75 milliliters instead. Okay, so remember, this is what you have. This is your desired volume. I want to know how much solute can dissolve in 75 mils. So basically, this is my unknown. This is what I'm trying to solve for. So I want to solve for x. Okay? Now, when you solve for x, the best way to do this is to use the cross multiplication. So cross multiply. We've done this before. Okay? So x times 100 milliliters is equal to 250 grams times 75. Okay? So if we just set it up like this, x times 100 milliliters equals 250 grams times 75 milliliters of water. Okay, we want to solve for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 100 milliliters to isolate x. You'll notice that these two cancel out. Okay, and you'll notice that the units of milliliters will cancel out as well. So that x is actually 250 times 75 divided by 100, which comes out to be 187.5 grams. So the amount of solute that can dissolve in 75 milliliters of water is actually 187.5 grams. This proportionality method is very useful, okay, because I can figure out the amount of solute dissolved at any volume of solvent, okay, as long as I have the same temperature. Okay. So if they're all at the same temperature, in this case 100 degrees, I can figure out how much solute can dissolve in 50 mils of water, 25 mils of water, or I can even figure out how much might be dissolved in 200 milliliters of water. Okay? I can't do this if the temperature keeps changing. If it keeps changing, I have to go back and look at what the solubility is at that temperature for 100 mils of water and then do my steps again. Okay? So this proportionality method is actually a very useful tool. I hope you guys will use this more often. In some cases, it's probably better to use this method than just straight algebra. All right, see you guys next time.